In spite of the fact that the crypto market is still getting back on its feet, there are some pretty big events taking place, especially in the US. You must already be thinking, this must be another clickbait video, right? Just by reading the subject of this video. Not at all. It looks like the US government is about to let all the cryptocurrencies in. For a while now, we've been speculating about what the US government will do about crypto. Yet, it sounds like they are just making claims without any proof. I want you all to know that we are going through a process. It looks like the law side is where we are now, right? As long as there are rules, everything else will work out. One of the most important things that happened with the US government this year was the stablecoin law, right? That was a big one. The act of genius. In business, that meant a lot. It raised the value of safe coins even more. Also, steady coins are being used by more and more people. It's still important to see how clear the whole area is. That's where XRP really shines. We've already talked about this. This is something we've talked about before. We talk about how well XRP is set right now. It really is. Check out what's going on with crypto at the moment. It is possible to do all of these things. Acceptance at the institutional level, establishment fee, payments, steady coins, and more. All of those things XRP has done for a while, right? Ripple has been doing things like this for a long time with the XRP database and XRP. They were very interested in the business side of the market before it became big, right? Going all the way back to 2016 and then 2017 makes me wonder who is in charge here. Do you know what Ripple is? They're really ahead of us. This is why XRP is doing well. When we look at what's going on in this area, it's hard not to think that XRP is ahead. Let's start by talking about the market. Today, XRP is worth $280, which isn't very different from what it was. But I think we are about to see some higher lows based on the picture. We still can't go above it. If the US really lost more than $308 a month, that would be great. We still want to see a big break above $310 and a nice close of the weekly candle above that level, even after that. If we look at the chart for 1 month, XRP still looks great. Not much has changed. We seem to be in the shape of a target. If we squeeze here and settle down a bit more, I think the next move could be $4 or more. That's the goal we have right now. Are we only interested in $4 as the main goal? Not at all. Not at all. When we break through $4, I think XRP will go on another crazy run like it did at the start of November, when it went from $50 to around $340. As things stand, I think it's likely that we'll get a nice 3x push to the top, or to the upside. Also, that's at least $10 in XRP. It's possible, but we need to be very careful and keep our eyes on what's making XRP move. Do you remember that ETFs were something we talked about? We were talking about breaking an organization's rules. We've talked about institutional adoption and maybe even news that hasn't come out yet. We just talked to Ripple about the tunes. One. That was a really big one. I also think that was kind of proof of what, oh, I see. We thought that some of these NDAs might be out there. What do you know? They're out there. Also, they're being talked about more now that the case is over. Once more, it's crazy to think that almost everything we've been saying for a long time is true. It's going to really happen. It's a little crazy, but hey, we like it when the market grows, right? We're going to talk about some bigger XRP goals. When are you going to get to them? The market has been slowing down a bit, but the price of gold is going through the roof. This gold rush is crazy. Gold is on track to have its 6th day in a row of gains. This would be the longest win streak since March. This is another reason why crypto has been so dull lately. It's because gold is very popular right now. Either they're on gold or stocks. And now we're just waiting for things to calm down a bit, like gold did in March. This is what brought the crypto markets to their lowest point in April and set them off on a wild ride. Now all that's left is to wait for gold to slow down a bit and become a little less exciting. After that, there are stocks. Right? The stock market is about to set a new record high. The SP really had a great day today. We went up from, say, 6,445 to 6,500. We're glad about that. The next goal should be 6551, I think. After that, 6960. Before the end of the year, we should break $7,000. It has been a pretty good run for the SP, now that we think about it. Blockchain is another thing that comes to mind. Why do we need crypto? We need to catch up now. We need to get behind SP. We need to catch up to gold too, because things are getting crazy with both of them. Everyone knows that the prices of gold and even silver have been crazy lately. We can only wait for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to catch up to these other markets. I did say at the start of the movie that the U.S. government is about to give crypto a big wake-up call. This is what we have here. Walter Bloomberg said this. The U.S. Federal Reserve has set October 21st as the date of meeting G, which will be about new transfers. The Federal Reserve says that the meeting will cover stable coins, AI, and turning financial products and services into tokens. The Federal Reserve is now talking about stable coins, AI, and turning money into tokens. It seems like we're in a dream because this news would not have been possible a few years ago. Please wake me up. This is proof that crypto is making big, huge progress. To go over it once more. It all starts with the talks the new government had with the SEC and the CFTC. I mean, really putting pen to paper. Guys, 2015 was the year that crypto really changed everything. In fact, the Federal Reserve is holding a meeting right now on payments innovation. It's about the same things we talk about on this channel. Does it go back to July? That's what I said at the start of the movie. It was made law in July that the Genius Act. So that safe coins can grow even faster, they made this law. I really liked what ARK Invest wrote in June about how safe coins could become one of the U.S. government's best financial friends. Why is this happening? Well, there are now 247 billion set coins, which is more than 20% more than in January of this year. I know ROD has been going up 709 million, so let's take a quick look at it. Guys, just stable coins are almost worth $300 billion, which is a huge amount of money when you consider that they were worth $247 billion in June. This doesn't make sense. The worth of stable coins has grown by $50 billion in the last 3 months. It was also more than 1% of the amount of USM2 money. This is a very important thing to keep in mind as we think about how big fixed coins will be in the coming years. Just look at the people who talk about them. It's not just shopping. It's not just crypto companies. It's the Federal Reserve of the U.S. What the U.S. Federal Reserve means when it talks about stable coins. The U.S. government talks about coins whose value won't change. In his speech, the president talks about coins whose value will not change. This is what the Treasury means by stable coins. These days, you can't avoid talking about safe coins. You may be thinking of a number like 1 or 2 trillion, but you should really think much bigger now that fixed coins are part of the world's